Hey everyone, we're going to talk about a little bit of some of the rumors, the new information that's come out on super caps. So everyone remembers the big controversy that came out with caps when they found out that a lot of the super caps in collections had reduced nostrils and some of them had spectacle eye. So that's a serious problem. And when you went onto those Facebook groups and when the information was first put out, you wouldn't believe the number of people that came out and were really just like super caps should never be bred, and cappuccinos are ugly, super cats are ugly, I don't know why you'd breed them anyways, they have ugly heads, they have small heads, bad structure, all that kind of stuff. So as things have cooled down, it's really been interesting to see how caps were super popular. They still are popular, but they're a little less popular now. They were super popular. They hit this bit of a snag with the information that's come out. And now they're kind of towards the middle. They're not as popular. Their price, their value has gone down. And this controversy's come out. Well, the same person who put out the first information, which is great info to have, to know if you're breeding or working with them to watch out. That's what that information was for, is for breeders to know that there was a problem being seen in the super form and everyone should keep an eye out for it and try to correct it as quickly as possible, that is the best thing to do if you're working with anything living, to know that you have a problem and to fix it and to work with it. But some new info has come out on the super form, which would be the super cappuccino and the super cappuccino combo. So only 11% of super caps have reduced nostrils, and only 3% of those 11% that had the reduced nostrils have spectacle eye. Now, this data was gathered by the same person who gathered the first amount of data. That would be Foundation Genetics, Little Monster, and all his contributors. So the number of animals that they had in this little study was 100 animals. So that might not seem like a lot, but you have to also keep in mind there's not a lot of super caps, just around. So as they get more info, I'm sure they will update it because it is a living journal. So if it's only 11% have these reduced nostrils, and it's only 3% that have spectacle eye, is it a serious problem? I'll let that for others to think about. I would say it's a problem to watch, but I think it's something that can be corrected. Now, I don't have anything really invested in cappuccinos or super caps. I'm just someone who really likes cappuccinos. I like that dark base gecko. I like the unusual color you can get from them. I really appreciate it, and I would like to work with it in my dark groups. I have a possible here. So, another thing I think kind of made cappuccinos kind of popular was the fact that there was this chance you could go to your local big box store or an expo and you could find a cappuccino. It has happened. And then this guy would be an example of a gecko I found at an expo. Got him for a really good price, and he just looked odd, and as he's grown up in age, it's like he kind of looks like a cappuccino. I've asked other breeders, and some people say he does kind of look like one, but you're going to have to prove him out, which is the correct way to do it. Some people say no, some people say yes, so I get a mixed signals from this guy, so I'm just holding on to him for that reason to see if I can prove him out. And the problem with having to prove him out is, like, if you want to prove him out, you're going to end up making super caps. But if you only have this small percent to have the nostril issue and the spectacle eye, it depends if you feel comfortable proving it out. But also, because people have to prove it out, a lot of people are taking shortcuts and inbreeding to prove out. So that nostril issue could be a result of inbreeding. So in the information that was given, they're telling people to be careful and to outcross. Here's some more info on the small nostril issue. As you can see, it looks like it is actually linked to the super form. But again, that's only a reduced nostril and is only a small percent. And as more information is coming out, and then there was that thing with the the egg tooth not having an egg tooth, and it was only one gecko that had that problem. So look back at the information and judge for yourself. Anyone who bred cappuccinos or super cappuccinos should be burned at the stake, and they are very wrong to do it and lumping them in with people who breed like spider ball pythons. It's like super caps and spider balls are not in the same category. It's not even very fair to even put them in the same category. I think a lot of people got a lot of hurt feelings, or I guess got into their feelings and didn't think of it logically or waited for information. I always say wait. I'm going to sit and wait. And that's what I did. I waited for more info to come out, and it doesn't look as bad. So I'm going to still wait. This is a new morph. We'll wait to get more info. But if you're very against cappuccinos, you should be really against lily whites, because their super form is just death. So it's the lethal lily. So if you're a person who doesn't want to breed a cappuccino or want anyone to breed cappuccino or work with cappuccino because of this health issue that the supers have, you shouldn't be interested in lilies as well. So just bring that into a little perspective. So cappuccinos were first bred in 2020 by Korea City Reptile. And it was kind of like an accidental happenstance, because he was trying to prove out if these geckos were axanthic, and he accidentally found out they were cappuccinos. Well, cappuccinos themselves have been floating around in the pet trade for quite some time. Many, many, many years. That's why they're in the big box stores. That's why people have accidentally found them in expos. They've just been unnoticed, because it's kind of a subtle look until someone found, it's like, this gecko looks a little odd, I want to play around with it, and that's what happened. They don't stick out like lily whites. It's like a lily white is a very distinctive looking animal. Cappuccinos are a lot more subtle in what they do. And their combos are extremely gorgeous. It's like, I love the cappuccino lily white. The frappuccinos are beautiful. I think the way the cappuccino market is going, because it's slowed down. The whole financial sector is not in the best. So no one's really going to go out there and spend a butt ton of money just on a cappuccino right now, while things are a little scary and uncertain for people. But things have slowed down, and also there are some big chain reptile sellers that are selling cappuccinos for $200. They're selling cappuccinos for $400. So that has also hurt it a little bit, but quality animals are still going to sell for quality prices. Same thing if, like, lily whites. I can go look right now and find a lily white for around $200, $300 to $400, or I could go and find a lily white for $1,000 to $5,000. It really just depends on what you're working with and how quality the animal is. I think the future of cappuccinos is going to be pretty bright. I can see a lot of things coming out of them, and especially with the combos. There's so much you can do with the super caps with the combination morphs. So I think that's where the cappuccinos are going to head towards the future. Again, it is a co-dominant trait, so it's an easily passed on trait. There's a lot of cappuccinos around, and because of that, it's just a really easy produced, and it will be out there like lilies. Low value lilies, and you'll have your high value lilies. It'll be the same thing with caps.